What's up, beautiful flower buds? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kitty. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ding the notification bell as well so you don't miss out. I do different things on this channel, from tarot to spirituality to energy healing and so on. So definitely take a look at that now or later. Take a look at the description box to find out everything you need to know about me, about the channel, about everything. If this is not your first time being here, what's up, you guys? Sending loads of love your way. Catch it and receive it is for you. Sending lots of gratitude and appreciation your way. Make sure that you have dinged the notification bell and subscribed just in case, okay? So today's reading I'm so excited about. It's going to be a past life reading. I actually enjoy doing past life readings just because, like, it's so cool to, see where you've been and see the things that you've been involved in, and to see what kind of life you have already led. So I've done past lives reading 2 other times. This will be the 3rd time I've done it. I'm just so I just love doing these type of readings because the past, there's a lot of lessons that come with, our past lives, and you can't change the past. You can always only learn from the past, and you can always, for some of us, we've had many past lives. For some of us, we've only had a couple, but so I don't know what past life this one will be, so I'm super excited to take a look into it. So you guys, let's take our 3 deep mindful breaths so we can just jump right into it. I have 5 pals today. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Alright, you guys, remember, if more than one pal calls out to you, that is perfectly okay. That just means that you have more than one message here for you. I know you probably cannot see these 2. You can see them now that they're in my hand. Okay, you guys, I'm going to start with this one. If you chose any of the other pals, I'll see you there on your pal stamp. Okay, so if you chose pal number 1, you chose this guy. So yes, this thing is just so cool. It's like a pencil grip person. I just think it looks cool. So yeah. You might be, in a past life, you might have been considered like a wild man or lady, wild woman or man. Or you just, was like the oddball. You just stood out in your past life to those people in your past life. So let's just jump right into the cards. Who were you in a past life? Alright, so this is going to tell me who you were, who are you in a past life. So you was a spiritual leader or someone who was into religion or spirituality. I'm seeing someone who is super connected, super devoted to their practice. So that's who you were in a past life. This could have been just, monk, nun, high priestess, preacher, anything involving that. I'm seeing that you were someone who was definitely connected with Mother Nature, with your surroundings. You were the light bringer to your people in a past life. And so in a past life, this next card is going to tell me your gender, which I'm feeling like female. And remember, this is the past life, so even if you are a male currently watching, in one of your past lives you were a female. Beautiful too. Mysterious, majestic, and like I said, spirituality and religion was something that you did, and definitely someone who practiced rituals and things like that, just highly in tune. Maybe yeah, definitely I'm seeing someone who is highly connected with the nature, and maybe even used rituals as well. Animal feathers, or bird feathers, spiders, angel wings. That's all I'm seeing here. So yeah, you were a female in your past life. And let's take a look at your childhood. Okay, so your childhood was definitely your beliefs was implemented on you since you were a little kid, a little girl, specifically because you were a female in a past life. Female. Okay. Yeah, like you might have been considered like a wild woman or whatever. What do you call those? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like wild woman. That's what's coming to me. But yeah, very misunderstood in your childhood. Maybe connected with spirits and wasn't sure, or like your family didn't really. I feel like your family imposed this strong belief. Like your family had this strong religious or spiritual belief, and they basically imposed that on you when you were a child. And I feel like as well, you may have also felt alone but super connected spiritually, so you never felt alone. But I feel like as far as like having family and people around you, I feel like you didn't really have that. Like you connected more with animals and with Mother Nature than you did with people. Okay, and that's pretty much what your childhood was like. I'm getting like a visual of the wild thornberries, how they sort of like lived off the land. And Eliza, she didn't really have like the human friends, she had more animal friends. And that's what I'm like getting that visual of. Like you were very beautiful as well, very beautiful. Now, so as far as your relationships, you have deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So how does this tangle into your relationships? I feel like you were in your relationships, you were the giver. Okay, I feel like you were the giver and the healer. I feel like you gave all of yourself when you were committed in relationships. I also feel like you had a tendency to feel like you just needed to be alone. So the relationships that you did have were very rare. Okay, your relationship was more so with yourself and with spiritual. Okay. And you were okay with that. You were okay with just connecting with the universe and the waters and the heavens and the, you know, just that light energy. You were okay with that just being, you know, what you're in a relationship with. And again, confirmation that you were female. It's 3 females in a row. Yeah, so you were definitely female in a past life. And healer vibes as well. So that's probably another reason why your relationships didn't really like thrive, because there was so much healing that you felt needed to be done. Okay, and when you did have relationships, it was on a super deep level, and it allowed you to heal yourself and them and just thrive in this just healing way. So yeah, your relationships was very physically and emotionally healing for you, but it was like rare, you know what I'm saying? So it's like like you didn't feel like you needed to be in a relationship, or you didn't feel like you needed to have anyone, because you felt so whole and connected. And maybe you felt disconnected to people because they didn't really understand you. Okay. So the next one, we're going to talk about your oh my gosh, and we have healing again. So yeah, definitely healer vibes in your past life. You might notice that you take to this same type of energy in your current life as well, because this is just such a strong energy. Okay, this is just like this could also have been the most recent past life for you. Okay, and so your family card that came out for your family is also healing. and feathers, which sort of goes hand in hand with this card and this card as well, because you have the look again, like you're more so connected with nature and animals and in spirit than you are, you know, your family and things like that. And I feel like that's something that you need to heal in this life. Or your father could have been your father could have been the preacher or the pastor, or you know how that is, you know, the spiritual leader. That could have been your father. But yeah, like I feel like maybe you were like, yeah, I definitely feel like your family had like strong spiritual beliefs, specifically like your father. But there was also like, there's distance between you and your family. You guys might not see eye to eye, but I feel like your family is like healers. Okay, you come from a family of healers. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you and your dad might not get along in your current life, and that might be something that you're meant to mend. But yeah, there's just, it's almost like it's just you and nature. It's just you, nature, the universe. It's just that spiritual connection. It's not really you know, you and other people. I feel like you're isolated in that way. But yes, what was I saying? Yeah. So yes, there's just like this isolation as far as family go. But yeah, like I said, you come from a whole family of like spiritual people, of healers specifically. And I think one of the things that you're meant to do in your current life, I know this is sidetracked, but is to maybe heal your family line or heal the connection. All right, and so let's move on to your social status. So your social status is like people know who you are, and people watch you and admire you from a distance. Like people, can you guys see that? Like all the faces and the eyes, like people see like your glow, they see like your angelic flow, they see your beauty. And again, like, yeah, like they see your beauty, they just, you know, people see you. So your social status was like more like unknown and mysterious, but like people knew you, people saw you. Okay, but they were more maybe like intimidated by you because you were just this powerful, yeah, confirmation, because you was just this powerful presence, you know. So like, yeah, like when you walked into the room, like everybody was not only quiet, they was like looking at you like, whoa. But you pretty much stayed to yourself. Like you went out into the world and ventured, but you pretty much, as far as like people, you stayed like within your own circle. Like, look how bright that card is. Like this was your social status. Like, it's beautiful. Like people saw you, and I'm not sure if they appreciated you or appreciated what you were doing, but they saw you, they saw your glow, they saw your beauty. Okay, you might and you had some long pretty hair too. It just might have been like unkempt or wild, or that's just how like people saw you, as like this witch-ish type of person. But I feel like you were very sensual, very maybe quiet and observant, kept to yourself, you know, and just sort of like came when you were called, like a high priestess almost. The energy that I'm getting. So as far as your occupation, this says what is already with you. And again, butterflies. So your occupation had to do with healing. Literally healing. I feel like you got more recognition when you died, but you were someone who was very very, like, I mean, like, super connected with, like, spirituality and this just strong healer vibes. That's just, like, literally, like, who you were, like, a healer to the core. Like, your whole thing is just, like, healer vibes, like. So let's go ahead and look at, you got your occupation. That's cool. So your occupation, what were you doing in a past life? We have translator, journalist, stockbroker, stylist, makeup artist, acting. So you were involved in travel, socializing, diverse. Okay, for some of you guys, you actually were traveling and socializing, but it wasn't to, like, I feel like you were socializing, but it was more so like businessy. Like in your personal life, I don't see you having people like really close by you. You were very like, you know, like this is my space type of thing. Then you have soldier, personal trainer, entrepreneurs, rescue workers, sports, go-getter, values fitness, aggressive. Okay, so this funny because like these two are like polar opposites of each other. But yeah, so in your past life you was most likely like an entrepreneur. I can see like translator, just someone who like took up on learning different languages. Probably someone who had their own battles. Yeah, you probably someone who had your own battles within, but I feel like you felt like your duty was to your spirituality and religion, and you did that. You did that, but I feel like maybe you did that at the expense of something. You had the power to bring anything into form too, just magic. Okay, you're very connected to the sacred geometry and to the angels and to all of that. And so now, and look, you have seeing unhealthy patterns in your family and deciding that those patterns end with you and will not be passed down to future generations is an extremely brave and powerful decision. Like I said, yeah, you're meant to, I feel like in your current life, heal those unhealthy family patterns. So yes, that's a lot on your shoulders, you guys. I know, even in the past life and in your current life, I feel like that's a lot on you sometimes, if not all the times. And so let's see how you died. I feel like you were also glad to ascend. Like when you passed on, you were like, yes, like the chaos is over. Like I don't, you know. Okay, I'm gonna get some clarity. Because I'm feeling like you were just ready to go. Like I'm also feeling like maybe you were sick, or maybe you were having like pains, physically pains. Because I'm seeing two different things. Like for some, because I'm seeing like just this beautiful person, but I feel like the fact that maybe you were like torn between all this obligation and your own life. So like I said, for some of you, I am feeling suicidal. And for some, I'm seeing that you guys were just into like a depression, and that deep sadness is what ended your life. So there's two different things. Like, so for some people I'm seeing a form of suicide, and for some people I am seeing that your death resulted in just this sadness, just being just way too depressed, and that leading to some form of like sickness, some form of like where there's pain, there's sharp pains or burning sensations. That's what I'm feeling like. So let's see if another card can go. Look, I'm so interested, you guys. And I don't want this reading to be too long, but it is what it is. How did pile number 1 die in your past life? Yes, yeah. So yeah. So you either passed away from like mental issues, like I said, like depression, mental illnesses like depression, or heart failure. All right, and so the lessons that you learned from your past life is how to surrender to the sweetness. How to surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy. Pleasure, joy, make love to life. And I feel like you didn't understand that until the end. Because it's like you were doing and focused on healing other people, that you forgot to take a moment to enjoy life. Because you felt like your life was more duty obligations. And I feel like, yeah, you're learning how to surrender to the sweetness and enjoy life. And you're learning also how to let people in. You're learning how, or you have learned that, you know, it's okay to let people in. And I feel like in your current life, you might also have this problem because when you died, you had that problem, okay? And then, but you learned it. And I feel like you're in this life meant to apply what you've learned, which is that life is meant for duty and obligation, but it's also meant to enjoy as well. And the other thing you'll learn is you got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. Okay, that's something else that you have learned already in a past, from your past life, that you need to set boundaries. That's how you show love for yourself, by setting those boundaries. And you got the love, and I feel like, yeah, like that abandonment issues, or afraid that people are going to walk out on your life, so you develop that codependency. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope that was helpful in letting you know more about your past life. So like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below. Okay guys, so if you chose pile number 2 with the rose quartz, so let's see what your past life was like. So let's see who you were in a past life. Ooh, you were somebody who has some authority. This could be like a court martial or a judge or even a king. Someone who has authority. But it was in reverse. So yes, in your past life, you was like an authority figure. I'm not. Shut the door. Don't let the air out. Alright, so that's who you were in a past life. Someone with power. Someone with power, I'm feeling like. Yes, and with this rose quartz here, you might have even had a love for power. So that could have led to you abusing your power. Alright, so let's see your gender in your past life. Male. Hardcore male. So you were a male in your past life. Doesn't matter if you're female now. In your past life, you were a male. Okay. And so let's see what your childhood was like. Okay, spirals of manifestation. Alright, so your childhood. Your childhood might have been filled with I'm going to get clarity on that as far as your childhood. What was your childhood like? Okay, rebellious. That's why this is in reverse. You became this authority figure, but you also had problems with authority figures. Okay, so your childhood was more like you being stubborn, you know, you just wanting to do things your way. Yes, ruthless. A lot of fights. You may have gotten in a lot of fights in your during your childhood. Maybe have problems with the authority as well. Oh yeah, look. Look. You was like you was someone who, okay, so in your childhood, if you felt like it was boring, you made people get all riled up. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like this little, you know what I'm feeling like? If you ever seen Arthur, the on PBS Kids, I'm thinking of the Tibble twins. Okay, that's what I'm feeling like. When you got bored or when things was just too calm, like you shook it up a little bit. Okay, you was someone who probably got in a lot of fights, who was very mischievous. Look at his aunt. Okay, who was very mischievous in your childhood. What else was their childhood like? Yeah. Vampire Genesis, very draining too. Lots of, not really like dark energy, but just like, you know, kids, manipulative. They can be stubborn. You know, if they don't really know how to express themselves, they only know how to express themselves in an aggressive, angry type of way. That's what I feel like for this pile. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I feel like for that pile about your childhood. So let's see, your relationships in reverse. Star family. You're a part of a team of souls. Call in support. And that's funny because this card, you might don't even agree or get along with your family in a past life, maybe even currently. Like you have a problem with people telling you what to do and giving you directions. You've always had a problem with that, even when you were a child. This might resonate with you currently, but yes, in your past life, this is that energy that I'm feeling. So yeah. So as far as your family, you might think that you don't have their support, or your family doesn't understand you. This is how you felt in a past life. Like you didn't have your family's support. You felt like you know, it was just you going at it alone. You didn't feel like you belonged. You didn't feel like you belonged. You didn't feel like you were welcomed. Is this family? This is actually relationships. So yeah, like as far as relationships, you were... Yeah. I feel like you have a tendency to push people away when they get so far, or if they start like maybe telling you what to do or telling you about yourself, you're just like, nope, you gotta go. I don't need that type of person or people in my life. Like, you like, I'd rather be alone than to have somebody come in and tell me what to do. So that's pretty much what your relationships was like. Like you had people, but you also at the same time pushed them away. So as far as your family goes, y'all were like, you probably even had like so your family probably had like money. Or yeah, your family, yeah, they had money. Or if they didn't have money, they had land. You know, look at this card. Heaven and earth. So yeah, you had everything. You and your family, y'all had everything that y'all needed and wanted. Okay? And then personal traits of like strength and courage and you know, just this royalty type of behavior. Okay, this entitled type of behavior, because you had everything you wanted. Well, your family did. So y'all was straight. Go ahead, y'all. So let's see. Yeah, that explains, you know, like, when you got money and you the little boy, like, your family can, like, pay off on stuff. It's true. So, social status. Wow. Look at that, y'all. I got the king of fire. Your social, look, people know who, I mean, you are an authority figure. You know, that was who you were in a past life. And, like, royalty is what I'm feeling like. Royalty. You were royalty. You hear me? In your past life, you were royalty. A king. Ooh, y'all, this power. Ooh, that power. So, yes, your social status, like king, like a king. If you weren't a king, your social status was up there. So, yeah, like, you were, like, well respected. As an adult, you know, as a child, you might have been, like, super mischievous, got into a lot of trouble. You know, your parents had to bail you out a lot. The stubborn little boy energy. But as an adult, you grew up to be someone who was like a king stature, you know. Someone who was royalty type of energy. Very strong energy. So now let's take a look at your occupation. Oh yeah, this might, you know what, I'm thinking that this is continued social status, yeah. Like I said, yeah, y'all had this like king type, but y'all was manipulative. Y'all was sneaky. Y'all intentions just wasn't really in the right place back then, in the past life. Like abusing your power. Y'all, shoot. Definitely abusing the power. Relax the hold and be at the cause, but I do feel like you had a change of heart. This is not for you, but something better is on the way. Yeah, I feel like you definitely had a change of heart, because at first, the path that you were, your whole past life was like you had power and you abused your power, you know. But we live and we learn, you know, you guys, shoot. Because it's like you don't know any better. This is how your family treats people and, you know, that type of thing. But I do feel like eventually in your past life you had a change of heart. You finally started understanding that you're really mistreating people and pushing people away, and you, yeah. So as far as your career goes or occupation, it involved public speaking and you being a good listener. Those are the two occupations that came out. So public speaking, all right. Okay. You had also a problem with you not believing in yourself, and I feel like in a past life that has to do with a lot of responsibilities and obligations that was placed upon you, and you always felt like you had to live up to someone else's expectations, and you always felt like what you were doing wasn't good enough. That's why it says believe in yourself. You are stuck in the past, not forgiving them or yourself. Just curious, what are you proving? If you do not want to forgive them, don't. But you have to live with yourself, so forgive yourself. And you'll notice when you forgive yourself, it'll be easier to forgive other people. Work is only half the fun. You are not meant to just pay bills and die. Take a break, plan a trip, have some fun, laugh more, go see some new sights, expand your mind, unwind. Nature needs you. That's for this message right here. Nature needs you. So yeah, you guys, your occupation was like public speaking, and maybe even like listening to people's, like listening to your community's problems, or just, you know, listening and addressing it in your public speeches. All right, so now we are going to how you died. How did they die? Oh, you guys. Okay, so I'm getting 2 answers here as well. So some of you guys were shot. Some of you guys were shot. And others of you guys were sort of like poisoned or by plague. And that's how you guys died. Okay, so let's look at the lessons that you learned from your past life. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So that is what you learned. You learned you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time. You learned that you're not all the way back here. You know, you learned that there is no rush, there is no race. Going at your own pace, doing what you got to do while you're here is, you know, is where you need to do, is where you need to be. And you know, so yeah guys, you have learned the lesson that you've learned from your past is to trust the timing. Your time is not running out. And then you have breathe, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Okay, so you're learning that. I'm actually going to read this one. This one's cool. This card right here, when we rely on our will, our own will, we're micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We're not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence and relying instead on personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend our time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can feel it too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me the way, little by little, you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. And I literally believe that that is what you found with this card right here. You found out that, like, you were trying to just do things and, you know, your own way. And you've learned that there's like a greater will and things like that at scheme. So that is what I have for you, pile number 2. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, y'all, you guys, I apologize if there's like a shadow because the sun has come out. And I'm waiting for the clouds to like cover it up now. It's hot. Anyways, if you chose pile number 3, the clear quartz crystal, let's see who you were in a past life. Biblical. What's he doing though? What is this called? That was probably what you were doing in a past life. If you can see, it looks like he's like making a table. Can you guys see that? It looks like he's making a table. So you might have been one of those type of people in the biblical days. But yeah, that's who you were in a past life. Biblical, most likely a builder, family man I'm seeing, or family person, or just a community person. Your gender, female. You were female in a past life. Doesn't matter if you're male now. Yep, you were female in a past life. Alright, so let's see what your childhood was for. Your childhood, listening for the truth in reverse. So your childhood was very listening for the truth. Maybe it was full of lies. People were lying to you. Maybe you was in a sad place, like a depression. A lots of deceit and backstabbing going on in your childhood, and you had to witness it, whether it's directly to you or your family. Like, you had to sit by and watch and really like try and decipher the truth. Yeah, so yeah, that was pretty much like what your childhood was like people were around you like lying. And like in biblical times, you know how they say, like, the women and the girls, how they treated females back then was not great. And so, maybe people were telling you, like, this is how you are and this is how you should be. Or there was, like, a lot of lies and betrayals and backstabbing going on within your family and around you. And you had to really, like, take a step back and try to figure out what the truth was. So, relationships cracked open in reverse. Rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So your relationships, I'm feeling like, were not great relationships. I feel like people were, the relationships that you did get in were not genuine, and they took a lot out of you. Yeah, maybe got used a lot, abused, mistreated. And just really, like, the relationships that you were in were just almost like what is, like, why is y'all even over here messing with this person? Like, yeah, like, the relationships that you were in were just not great. Like, I'm talking about, like, abuse. This could be like verbal abuse, this could be physical abuse, this can be just like belittling you, or just making you feel like you're not good enough. Like, you've reached plenty of relationships where you've reached rock bottom. Sorry, you guys. So yeah, let's see what we have of family. Ace of Fire. Here we go. We got some good stuff. Okay, here we go. Ace of Fire. So your family was very passionate about whatever they were doing. You had a very passionate family. Okay, so if this represented like your father or whatever, you can tell like he was very into what he was doing. Okay, if he was a builder or sculptor or furniture maker, he was very creative. Okay, so you come from a line of creative people. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm getting from them. They weave their own destiny. You could have come from a family of weavers, creators, thinkers, like bright-minded, bright idea type of people. Oh, your family ain't play either. They was pretty serious. Alright, so let's look at now your social status. Pile number 3, you guys were really depressed. Like, this pile was emotionally unstable, which explains why you have the clear quartz crystal, which is like the master healer, physical, emotional, spiritual, clarity, all that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because you were emotionally heavy. Okay, so we're talking about your social status. You were someone who just hide like emotions. 8 of water. And then you have the perfection of your life. So of course, you know, your life wasn't perfect, but I feel like you try to put on that persona, like you know, when someone's in an abusive relationship and they put on makeup so nobody can see what's going on, really, like you wanted your life to be perfect. Like you come from this type of family, okay, like your family looks like that, you know, so you wanted that for yourself and you wanted everything to be perfect, but it didn't turn out that way. Like you had so many emotions that you weren't even able to visit or to express, because those type of emotions, it's like, you know, like how do I deal with this type of emotion? How do I deal with this pain? And then, you know, I feel like women didn't have that room back then to express themselves in any other type of, you know, in any type of way. So you had to, oh, everything is fine, everything is good, we're living our best life, it's so perfect, but really it's just breaking you down and draining you and leaving you feeling depleted and defeated. Then you have this one, which is again with the keys. So you have the keys and the knowledge. You know, you've always had the keys to weave something different, but it's like, you know, times have changed. Times have changed now. I probably wouldn't have said that back then if I was in that, you know, that. But if I knew what I know now back then, you know, if I was in this predicament, I would say the same thing. But, you know, in that type of situation, it's like, no. So I feel like you didn't feel like you had any support. I don't feel like you had any support. And again, I felt like you was just tying yourself to things that felt familiar, or, you know, what your family wanted you to do, and it was hurting you. Okay, but you're like, I can take it, I'm fine, everything's good. You know, nothing's wrong. Everything's right, everything's how it's supposed to be. It's perfect, my life is perfect. And you put yourself in these really, you know, so your social status was pretty much like a lie, so to speak. Yeah, your social status was like a front, like how people saw it. Like people may have even been able to pick up on like the little subtle hints. So yeah, I feel like some people were able to like peep the truth, like everything is not as perfect as she said it is. And now let's go over to your occupation. Oh look, what did I say? Crafter, creator, and poetry. Oh, you found your way to express. That's so beautiful, you guys. I love it. So your occupation was, you know, a crafter, a creator, you know, and you also did poetry to find, like, poetry to express those emotions and express how you feel. That's such a beautiful outlet, you guys. And now we're gonna find out how you died. Sinister serpent, water, magical marionette, Zombria of death. So you may have died. Again, I'm getting two things. So for some of you took your own life. Maybe slit your wrist. Because you just wanted to be, you didn't want to feel that way no more. Okay? So for some of you, you guys took your own life. Okay. And some of you, gonna get clarity on emotions too. You could have just been like, your emotions could have been, you could have died from like a broken heart, or just from being too sad. Yes. Okay, you guys, yeah. You guys were so sad. Okay. And to the flip side of that, okay, if you did not take your own life, then you could have been poisoned, okay? And again, like, oh, you know what I'm also thinking about? I just got that visual of, if you've ever seen the movie Holes, Kate Barlow, when she took the scorpion and made the snake bite her. I mean, made the scorpion, or what was it? Whatever it was, bite her. So that could have been something too, or, you know, yeah, poison. Okay, yeah, you was just, yeah, you just had enough. So I feel like you took your own life for some, and for some you guys was poisoned either by a snake or just some form of poison. Could have also been like just something super heavily emotional. So yes, you guys, that's what I have for you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, you guys, if you chose the citrine crystal, let's take a look at your past life. Who you were in a past life. So who are you? Someone who is very wise, has a lot of wisdom. Okay, high priest or high priestess. There we go. In this case, high priest, because you were a male in a past life. So you were a high priest. People came to you for your wisdom and guidance. You were a male in a past life. It does not matter if you were a female. You were a male in your past life. So as far as your childhood, in the world, not of the world, I'm going to look that one up. Your childhood, you may have felt like the black sheep or the oddball. Maybe you felt like you didn't belong. You didn't know your place. That's what I'm feeling like for your childhood. You felt like maybe you were out of place. And now we're going to talk about your relationships. Lost land, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. So as far as your relationships go, I'm not seeing any relationships. Not seeing any relationships for this pile. Let me get some clarity. So yeah, the reason why I don't see any relationships is because you were focused on your calling. You were focused on what you were being called to do, your gifts. You were focused on training yourself and becoming the high priest. Yep, all paths lead home. Portal, again, it's just you and spirit. Like you didn't feel like you needed relationships. Okay, you felt more so like you were on a mission in your past life. Okay. Okay, and so let's take a look at your family. Masculine and feminine. Okay, so your family was very balanced. Okay, that's all I'm saying for that. Your family was very balanced. Masculine and feminine, yeah. That's all I'm saying about your family. Like, they were just balanced people. They were bright, creative, powerful. Definitely balanced their energy very well. Alright, now we're moving on to your social status. Okay, so what else do I see about your family? They might have not been emotionally supportive of you, or might not have been supportive of your choices or your options. You also struggled with like fitting in or seeing where you belong. I feel like that as well. You had a hard time focusing on yourself, or no, your occupation, not your occupation, but your social status was more so like you kept to yourself, and you just spent like most of your days just praying and staying to yourself and meditating and connecting with spirit. That's what I'm seeing for this in this pile. Alright, so as far as occupation, we have writer, editor, gardener, gardener, architect, teacher, landscaper, photographer. So yeah, you might have been someone who just definitely connected well with the earth. With this citrine, very creative energy as well. Or just, you know, someone who is has a very strong willpower. Alright, so next we're gonna find out how you died. Oh look, spell economics, you were a writer. You guys, I'm mad at this. So you died, you were killed. That's how you died. Okay? You were killed for the knowledge, for your knowledge, for your quote-unquote secrets. You might have even gotten an argument with the person who murdered you. And you may have even known them. That type of betrayal, people. You may have even known the person who murdered you. Definitely getting some betrayal, snake in the grass. They wanted your power. They wanted your magic. They wanted your life. They wanted your secrets, your life. They wanted whatever you knew. They wanted it. And so they killed you for it. That's wild, you guys. And for some of you, you may have also been like killed in some form of like battle. And the lesson that you've learned from that past life is the 7 star sisters in reverse. Birthing, creations, tapestry of life, expression. So you've learned that it's okay to bring to life your ideas. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to just be. And I'm also going to look that up as well. Creativity and intuition comes from a sacred place. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten to create. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creativity is a part of your true nature. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, new business and all that. So yes, this is, like I said, learning how to create, learning how to tap more into your creative side with all this orange and to balance out your life. So that's what I have for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I chose the black tourmaline. I apologize in advance, you guys, if you can't see if it's a shadow, but you know, the sun is super high and it's hot already. So let's just jump right into it. Who were you in a past life? A knight. You also have 2 cards here though. You guys were a knight in a past life. Possibly a knight with bad health, or a knight who took to health and medicine. Okay, but you were a knight in a past life. Or someone who was had strong vows. You know, you could have also been like someone involved in health with strong vows, strong code of honors or stuff like that. What was your gender in a past life? Female. It does not matter if you are a male currently, you are a female in a past life. So your childhood was very confusing. You didn't know, you didn't know what to feel. You didn't know what was truly right for you or wrong for you. You really struggled with choosing, with decisions, decisiveness. You had a very confusing childhood. You didn't know like what was right for you, what was wrong for you. Maybe you strayed off whatever path was laid out for you. So yeah, like I do feel like you were very confused, always looking for something, maybe something new or maybe some answers. But you just were all tied up and all caught up in different things, okay? And even here, like 2 different options, okay? So it's like health, and then on the opposite of health, it's like knights. And you know, knights are just, you know, that. So it's like maybe you struggle with choosing, and even in your current life, you know, decisions. You may have been also someone who is creative. So your relationships, your life is like a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. You struggle with what's right, like, like people in your life are doing this, so I guess I should follow in their path. But what if I want to do, you know, this? Like, is this right for me? Like, will they still feel the same way about me if I do something different? But your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability, okay? Take your life more serious. Well, this is your past life. So your childhood, maybe you've been trying to find someone to save you in your childhood. That's how. And you had to become the hero. And again, female. So yeah, you were definitely a female in a past life. Oh, you know what? I'm also getting Mulan vibes. I'm literally just got Mulan vibes. When will my reflection show who I am inside? Yes. Okay, y'all. So yeah, there was a lot of confusion on what you should do or what you want to do. So let's look at the relationships in your life. So the relationships in your life, you actually had some really good relationships in your past life. They helped you, the relationships that you were in helped to connect you more with yourself. Okay, helped you to connect with your true self, with who you really are, with who you want to be. It helped you connect your hearts to your heart space, and really got yourself in the right headspace to make some decisions. Y'all had some really good relationships. Yeah, you had one solid relationship, I'm saying. And they helped you transfer, like take the mask off and show your real self. And they helped you balance out your emotions. Oh, you guys, that was a really good relationship. So let's check out your family and your social status. So your family and your social status. So your family is like, have been trying to teach you how to trust yourself and trust your decisions in your past life. That's what you learned from your family, how to trust yourself. You might in past life you probably had a big family too. I know I only see animals in this picture, but it's like so much support. You might like, it's like, well, that's only because I was like doing what they told me to do. But I feel like regardless, you have always had their support. You just probably didn't feel like it for whatever reason. Definitely had a strong sense with animals as well. I'm seeing that more so in your childhood than in your waking life in the past life. Alright, so now let's talk about your social status. So your social status, Defense of the End, the Worthwhile. I feel like your social status was more like incognito, like you tried to blend in. As far as like, that's what I'm seeing for your social status. Like you really tried your best to blend in to whatever scene you were in. You really just wanted to blend in. But that actually hurt you. Blending in actually hurt you because you still felt like you didn't belong. Like even when I'm blending, I don't belong. And even with these two positive influences in your life from your family and from, you know, the relationships, it's all teaching you the same thing. I'm saying how to be the hero in your own story, how to connect with yourself, you know, instead of looking for outside. Hey, is this right? Does this look right to you? What do you think? You know, like you have to literally like start asking yourself, you know, in the past life, you know. That's what I'm seeing for that. So your occupation in your past life, we have healer, soldier, okay, and entrepreneur. Okay, you guys. So, okay, that knighthood makes sense. So were women allowed? I mean, this is a past life. Okay, yeah, women were allowed to like do some war stuff, knighthood. I'm thinking of Lagatha. If you ever seen the Viking series, we got some shield maidens over there. Again, I told you I was thinking about Mulan. So yeah, soldier for some of you guys, healers for some of you guys, and entrepreneurs. So you probably did something in the creative field or the art field as far as entrepreneur goes. But this is beautiful. We got some entrepreneurs in the building, we got some soldiers in the building, salute, we got some healers in the building, whoop whoop. So that's just beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful. And now we're going to find out how you died. Dark magician. Some of you guys died in battle. Some of you guys were I just literally hate to say that. So yeah, we also have like, for some of you guys, you were betrayed by a friend, someone who was jealous of you. Dang, y'all. These betrayals be for real. So yeah, some of you guys, like I said, some of you died in battle. Some of you guys were, okay. So for those of you who felt like they were betrayed by a friend, you were most likely stabbed. There's lots of swords here, so died by the sword or knife or dagger or spear type of thing. Okay, I'm just gonna pull a couple more cards just for clarity. Yeah, some of you guys, not really like poisoned, but yeah, that's what I'm getting as well. Maybe ate something that was poisonous. or stabbed, injected. I'm seeing maybe some medicine, or you taking something and it just, something in the water. Look, this is crazy. Like, yeah, health. You might have also died too from health issues, or like I said, like first, look, this is like a lot of different types of deaths that I'm seeing. So some of you guys were stabbed, some of you guys died by the sword, some of you guys were poisoned or injected, or had something that affected your health, like some form of like poison. Maybe ate something and it just messed up your poison. I mean, messed up your, you know, just poisoned you. Especially if there was like a friend involved, that type of betrayal. Yeah. So yeah, you might have gotten poisoned, had to seek out some healers, tried to even heal yourself, but it was like too late. Yeah, the eye of truth. Oh yeah, goosebumps, like the eye of truth. And it's like, you know, yeah, you definitely knew this person. I'm getting goosebumps like all over my body when I seen the eye of truth. Like, yeah, you knew this person. You guys were close. I'm literally getting like, can you guys see the goosebumps that's on my leg? Can you guys see that? I don't even know, but look, I got chills all over, up and down my body. You guys were killed by a friend of yours. Someone who's close to you. I'm hearing family, friend too. So goosebumps again. Yes, you guys. Yeah, some of you guys just had like really bad health. Your people really did try everything to like save you. They took you to like, I don't know, like different healers to try and like save you. That was that. And now we're going to look up the lessons that you've learned. Empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So this is something that you've learned, not to, you know, absorbing what's not yours, setting those boundaries, really protecting yourself with all these shields here, learning how to protect your energy, how to protect your space, really learning how to use your intuition and discernment to really pick people out. Because it's like, you're a sweetheart, and it's like not everybody is genuinely sweet and nice. Some people have a hidden agenda, and if you're following your intuition, and you know, when you have like a weird feeling and you follow on that, you might save yourself. Now, this is in a past life though. Another thing that you've learned is the great serving, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So yeah, you were, I mean, I feel like when you died, you carried on this anger and conflict within yourself, because it's like, I knew better and I didn't save myself, and now you struggle with being the hero of your own story, but maybe even currently. So yeah, what other lessons did this pile learn from their past life? And you're also learning how to soften to love, because love is real and love is genuine. Okay, not everybody's out to get you. You have to learn to trust yourself. That's one of the greatest lessons that you were meant to learn, is to trust yourself. You had that feeling like whoever was the cause of, involved in the cause of your death, you had that feeling like this person is untrustworthy. I'm getting goosebumps to confirm. But you ignored it. And it wasn't in your best interest to do that. Okay. What else did they learn from their past life? I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So yeah, you remember being betrayed. And even currently, I feel like this is about like letting go of that past, letting go of that past betrayal. And because you just got to learn from it. Holding on to it and just being angry about it all the time is not going to help you. So that's what I have for you. You guys like, comment, and subscribe.